What is going on? It is the life of Poe, Donnie Shoots, and today I am back here with another video. And today I am going to talk about 1.5 years with the Fujifilm X100V. Now, first things first, I am recording this video on the X100V right now. The specs is 26 megapixels and it shoots up to 4K, 60 frames, about 15 minutes. You can't beat that. The X100V is a point and shoot, but this is more than just a little regular point and shoot now. We're talking a point and shoot. It's a little bigger, you know. It's about the size of, like, I'd say my Nikon L35. So it's a little bigger, not like a little point and shoot, like a little like mom or dad cam. The camera, it's amazing. I can't even tell you how much I love this camera. This camera cost me around, in the state of New Jersey, because you know there's tax on stuff in New Jersey. I bought it in March of 2021. I bought it for about $1,500. If I can find the receipt. Nobody was really shooting with these at that time. And I just found it. I got lucky. I went to Best Buy in American Dream Mall, like first day it opened. I grabbed it and I fell in love. What I love about the Fujifilm X100V is its sensor. The sensor, the colors it produces, it's amazing. It comes with a lens attached to it. I believe it is either the 23 or 28 millimeter. Do not quote me on that. It does stop at 2.8 aperture. I'm going to put some images on the screen. So what I love about these images is that it just has a feeling to them. As in, like, not just, oh, this is just a photo. No, this photo, it feels like you're there in the moment. The tones, forget about it. The tones are so beautiful. I usually bring this camera with me almost everywhere. This is usually I'm trying to retire it to my event camera. I used to use this for portraits. I use it for landscapes. I just bring it with me everywhere I go. And I love it so much that I'm like, okay, I don't want to bring it everywhere I go because I don't want it to break. Because if it breaks, I'm going to be really upset. So now I usually bring this camera out if I'm like going out with my friends. And like I just love taking photos of people. And that's mainly what I use my photography. Like my photography is mostly portraits. I started going towards landscapes and nature photos and just any everyday things, you know. But mostly I shoot like portrait work, but not just, oh, you got the white backdrop and say cheese. No, my portrait work is, you know, the working people, like actual real people, you know. And I love this camera for that. It has film simulations, and the film simulations replicate film, and they actually replicate film. It's not like, oh, you know, it's kind of close to film. Like, no, this is real. Like, it's not one-to-one with film, but it's really close. And that's a major selling point to this camera. If you want a camera and you don't even want to, like, edit the photos and say, okay, I gotta take this in post, because this camera does shoot raw. However, I wouldn't really recommend shooting raw because you have the film simulations and the JPEGs are just amazing. So you could shoot raw, because I did shoot raw and I did like how the images came out, but the camera really shines with the JPEGs and the film simulations. You guys, I can't recommend this enough. I usually recommend, I'm a Nikon guy, you know. I started on Nikon. My first camera was a Nikon. Literally, my little point and shoot was a Nikon. And then when I graduated, my dad gifted me the Nikon D3400, which I'm going to do a video on. And I bought a 35mm 1.8 for that. And I just love it. I love that camera. I can't even tell you how much I love that camera. The sentimental value is beyond it. And it still produces some really good images. And it shoots 1080, so you can't beat that. You know, for a camera that is, what, 6-7 years old almost? Let's say it's about 7 years old almost. And I'm going to really make a couple videos about that camera and just show how amazing it is. But we're still talking about the Fujifilm X100V here. Don't get it twisted. This was the first camera I really bought with my own money. Like my own adult money. As soon as I became an adult, I was like, okay, I want a camera. I was looking at the Sony A7 III. That's a lot of money. And then I'm like, okay, I want to spend, I want a good camera, but I'm not trying to spend $2,000-$3,000 on a camera. And this is where I found the X100V. It stops down to either 2.8 or 2. It stops down to 2.0, so I can get some bokeh, and I can fit it in my jacket pocket. And it's low profile in a way that people don't say, oh, that's a big camera. What are you doing taking pictures of me? Or it draws a lot of gaudy attention. This X100V is so low profile. I go literally everywhere with it. Like when I'm in the casino, gambling, or I'm with my friends and they have the slots and like, hey, take a picture. I take a picture of them, and no one's like, hey, what are you doing with the camera? Like, no one really says, oh, that's just okay. That's a big. What is he doing? Like, he's part of film? Is he cheating? Not even just on the casino part. Just people don't really pay attention when you pull out that camera. But some people, if you know, you know. If people see this camera, they're like, oh, you got an X100V or you got an X100? Oh. Or like some people, hey, nice vintage camera. And like, oh, it has a screen? Wow. And it gets a lot of compliments, but you shouldn't buy a camera for the compliments. You should buy it because it's you. It is a mirrorless camera, by the way. So you don't have to worry about weight. It's pretty light too. And the mirrorless, it was my first mirrorless camera. Like, I don't really see like the big whoa wow about it, because I have DSLRs. I have a couple of them. I have a 5D Mark II. I have a Nikon D200 and the D3400. And I don't really care about the weight. Maybe I'm still young, so I don't care like about how much a camera weighs. Or I just hold it, or just put it around your neck, or put it in your pocket. But the X100V is really light. I really recommend it to anybody who needs a camera that is in the market for a premium camera. These cameras, actually, they're sold out right now. So if you just wait a little bit, you can get your hands on one of these. Do not pay resale though. I refuse to let anybody pay resale for anything. Reselling, like, some people gotta eat, but paying an extra $300-$400 for a camera is insane. You can literally buy like 3 cameras for that. 3 good cameras for that. For $300-$400. I'll make a video about that soon. And the X100V, I feel like it's gonna last my whole life, I'd say, without any problems. It should. I'm starting to rotate it to the point that, like, I'm not always carrying it. I'm always using it and abusing it. So it's going to get used still, but it's not going to get overused. And hopefully I can pass this camera down to my grandkids or my kids. And they're like, oh, look at that old camera. I'm like, it might be old, but this still slaps. So I do print like small little photo prints, like how you get from the disposable cameras and stuff like that, like pictures like here. Like I think I'll tell you what they are. They are 4x6s. So 4x6s, I printed JPEGs and they're really sharp. This lens is really sharp. For a point and shoot with a fixed lens, it is a really sharp lens. So if it still looks sharp now, it's going to look sharp for a long time, because this camera came out in 2020. So by the time 2040 hits, if it looks sharp now, it's going to look sharp then. So megapixels don't really matter in that sense. So 26 megapixels is pretty much good for life. I mean, I wouldn't go print like a billboard with it. I would like to try that though, like print something that's like almost a billboard size, and not even, something that's really big with 26 megapixels, just to see how nice it would look. Because they were printing billboard pictures with 5 megapixel cameras, so 26 megapixels should suffice. So this camera, it's an investment. When your kids have a birthday, or when your nieces and nephews are just graduating, you bring that camera with you. It doesn't look too high profile. You just put on a little film simulation to mess with the colors. Also, I didn't even mention, guys, you can change the white balance. this camera, like, you can literally customize the images like inside the camera before you shoot. Like, you can choose the white balance, you can choose if you want to have it reddish, greenish, you know, the warmness, of course. Like, this camera is amazing. It is amazing, guys. So when it is your nieces and nephews' graduation, you pull this camera out, you're like 35, 40. Tell them to say cheese, and they go print the photos at Walgreens, or I don't even know what they're gonna have. I don't even know what they're gonna have in 30 years, you know, or like 20 years. The images are still gonna look how you took them today. So guys and gals, please save up your money. Get yourself one of these Fujifilm X100V cameras. They're worth it. I promise you. That's it for today, guys and gals. I hope you have a good day. I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You are loved. You are appreciated. Let me know what you want to see. I love talking. I love rambling. See you guys soon. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so, so much. Have a good day. Night, something.